The front squat. First, the unrack. Set the bar up at the same height that you'd use for a back squat, or around the same height as your upper chest. The barbell should sit across the front side of your shoulders, close to your neck. Now make sure that when you stand up, the bar comes up and above the J-hooks and allows you to walk straight back. And if you need to get up into your toes, the bar is set up too high. When facing the bar, ensure the center bar marking is positioned in the middle of your face, directly in line with your nose. Using the indicator markings as a guide, position your hands symmetrically just outside the shoulders. You don't want one hand further or closer than the other. You want to keep them well balanced. Now, keeping the hands just outside the shoulders should help you keep a tighter upper back. Place your fingers on the bar and step under the bar whilst bringing your elbows up and also together. This will help activate the lats. The bar should rest on top of your shoulders and should touch your neck. At first, it may feel like the bar is choking you, but you'll get used to it. Now shrug your shoulders so the barbell is resting on the meaty part of the front delts and not the collarbones. Keep your elbows up as high as possible. Your upper arm should be parallel to the floor. And you can use wrist straps if you don't have the flexibility in the wrist, triceps, or the lats. Ensure your feet are in a squat position and they're slightly turned out 5 to 10 degrees. Now take a deep breath in and fill your abdomen with air. This should feel like you're expanding your midsection 360 degrees around. Imagine filling up your whole diaphragm with air, not just your lungs. Once your abdomen is full, squeeze your abdominals tight and this will lock down your rib cage. Maintaining this tension, stand up and walk the bar back, taking 3 small steps only. Now the key here is to maintain the pressure in the core that you have created in the previous step. Now moving on to the squat itself. Once you have walked the bar out, position your feet slightly wider than shoulder width and turn them out 5 to 10 degrees. Stand upright and tall, extending the thoracic spine, keeping your elbows pointing up and together, locking the legs out and keeping the quads flexed. Now slightly externally rotate your legs to ensure that the kneecap is pointing in the same direction as the toes. Maintain a neutral spine, keeping the elbows as high as possible, and keep your eyes fixed directly out in front. Now, like in the unrack, take a deep breath in, filling the abdomen with air 360 degrees around. Then brace your core, locking down your rib cage, using the abdominal muscles to do this. Now pause for a second, and then break at the hips and the knees simultaneously. Keep your weight evenly distributed in the foot. This will ensure to keep you balanced. Now slowly descend into the squat, counting your eccentric tempo in your head. This is usually prescribed as 3 or 4 seconds. Keep the torso as upright as possible whilst holding your elbows as high as possible. Ensure that the knees travel 1 to 2 inches over the toes. Now a complete range of motion is where the hamstring is covering the calf in the bottom position of the squat. Do not pause at the bottom of the squat unless specified so in your given tempo. When you have reached the bottom of the squat, maintain the core brace and keep the elbows high. Next, drive up and spread the floor with your feet by externally rotating your legs and pushing out to the side. Now take your time at the top. Lift your elbows up again, re-brace, find your position and repeat what we just covered for the next rep. The re-rack. Ensure that you maintain a solid core brace after your last rep and walk the bar in under control. Keep walking straight ahead until you cannot walk any further, then re-rack the bar. Try not to look around and see if the bar is in the J-hooks, just walk in as far as possible and then safely re-rack.